What's up, everyone? So being from Seattle, I feel like Seattle gets a super bad rep for having super rainy seasons, even though I think our summers are one of the most beautiful summers you could experience. And when fall rolls around, it starts getting a little chilly, and although we do get rain here and there, I gotta say, like, some days are super beautiful and like this. Basically perfect sweater weather. But earlier this week, we got hit with something like this, which really got me to realize how easily my mood is affected by external factors, whether that be the weather, the news, or just the general craziness that happens in life. When all of this combines with all these deadlines and things not really going my way, it compiles and really makes me feel overwhelmed, and there's a sense of anxiety of always just being behind and trying to catch up and never really getting to a place where I feel like I'm back at square one and ready for more. It's always like I'm drowning and I need help. I even remember trying to do this thing where I have a bunch of stuff to do, and then I tell myself, okay, I'm gonna take a break. And after this break, I'm gonna be super focused, A-game, gonna be on it, let's go. I'll take this break, I'll go on like a 20-minute walk or a nap. And literally during the entire break, all I can think about is what I have to do or all the stuff that I should be doing instead of taking this 20-minute break, because 20 minutes is obviously not enough. And I am just stressed. And then the opposite is also true. It's like when I'm working and I feel burnt out and I'm trying to stay focused and I'm working a bunch, then I just feel like there's a bunch of other things I would rather do. So it becomes this kind of interesting situation of wanting to be where the grass is greener. Like when I'm taking a break, I'm like, I should be doing work. And when I'm doing work, I'm like, I kind of need a break. And at the end of it all, I don't get a good break, and I also don't get a good work session. So if you're struggling with this as well, I thought I'd share out 3 things that I've been trying that have helped me create and maintain a productive headspace throughout the day. Okay, so starting off, number 1 is have a morning routine. And I know it can sound counterproductive at times because we're saying, why would you want to have a morning routine when there's already so many things I need to do on my busy day, and now you're telling me to add more stuff? But what I found is having a morning routine really eliminates any information overload from that habit of just scrolling through social media or reading a bunch of emails first thing when you wake up, as well as removing any decision fatigue, keeping your brain space clear by knowing what you want to do already for your morning routine. It's kind of built into you that this helps wake you up. And so whether that's making your bed or getting a cup of coffee or going on a walk, it gives yourself a sense of accomplishment and really sets the tone throughout the day. And when you're starting out with this, it's really important to just have something small, something easy that you can do, and it doesn't feel like a lot of work, and you know you can do it, and you also know that it feels good. And so for my morning routine, I have it separated out into these must-do and these nice-to-haves. My must-dos are, I feel like making my bed gives myself this feeling of accomplishment, as well as going outside and just taking in a couple breaths of fresh air. I feel like all of this really helps put the day into perspective and sets a calming and more productive headspace for me to go about my day. And sometimes if I wake up early, my nice-to-haves are going to the gym, taking a longer walk in the sun or sometimes in the rain, and making myself breakfast or reading a book. And I found that the benefits for me for doing this is it really clears off the slate, really wakes me up from any grogginess or tiredness I might be feeling from waking up, as well as giving me that sense of accomplishment and wanting to start my day and be productive because I've already completed my morning routine, which I set for myself. Okay, so the second thing that I've been trying a lot is creating this catch system for myself. I remember reading somewhere that our brains aren't really good at retaining short-term information. So like if someone's telling you, oh, make sure you take the trash out, or this is the passcode to the door or something. And keeping all of that in our short-term memory brain generally clogs up our minds and prevents us from being able to do more productive and deep focused work. And so when you develop a catch system, the purpose of that is to utilize technology to offload anything that might not be super important that you need to remember, and just put that somewhere and you can come back to it anytime. And so for me, it doesn't have to be super elaborate. I know some people use Notion, their calendar. I personally just really like using the reminders app on my phone. So if there's ever anything that I need to do or I just think of randomly wherever I am, I always have my phone with me. And so I'll just pull it out and I'll just jot something down in my reminders. And generally I'll check back to this app throughout the day to make sure that I'm taking care of things, and I'll start scheduling when I want to do them. And then whenever I have time and I'm ready to do some work, I don't have to really think about what I need to do for that day. I just generally check my reminders. I know that these are the 3 most important tasks or 5 most important things I need to get done today, and I can start working on those. And then I feel like the rest of this is just pairing this with what many students use, whether that's the Pomodoro technique or they just put their phone in the focus mode. And something that I've been using is an app called Endel, which was recommended to me by a friend. And that app basically curates these harmonic and frequency sounds and music and beats that are tailored for specific moods, whether you want to read, write, working out, or you're just trying to meditate. It plays these kind of sounds to really set the mood and gets you focused and into the zone. And for me, I found that it has helped a lot. And so the last thing that I do that has helped me kind of keep sane and being in this productive mindset space is finding time to reset, rejuvenate. Whether that's small breaks scattered throughout the day, or it's finding some time before you go to sleep or sometime in the morning as part of your morning routine to really just take time and reflect your attention and energy inwards. I just feel like taking care of yourself is a super essential part in preventing burnout. So much of our days is spent doing things outside, helping others, responding to others, and a lot of our energy is given outwards, and there's not a lot of attention and focus inside. I feel that this idea of emotional self-care is actually so important, especially now that we're out of college and there's not that integrated built-in sense of community that was so easily found and accessible while we were in school. And I feel that most of our days are such kind of this go, go, go aspect where we're going from one thing to the next, that there's not a lot of energy and attention spent inwards to really discover how we're feeling about certain things, whether this certain event rubbed us a certain way, or we have certain aspirations to want to do this. This made me happy, this made me sad. And really getting to know yourself as you grow, because I feel like my personal feelings and outlooks on life has continuously evolved and changed throughout the years, that if I wasn't paying attention, I would just assume that I still feel the same way about everything. And so for me personally, I like to do a gratitude journal where I jot down things that I'm grateful for. And I also do this journal type where I just state my emotions and I try to follow my train of thought. Because oftentimes when you journal, there's something about putting your thoughts onto paper and being able to see it. It helps you logically and sometimes work through the emotions that you're feeling, whether it's bundled up and complicated inside. When you're writing it out, you'll slowly begin to unravel that knot of emotion. And the other thing that I really like doing now is reading. I feel like reading has had this redemption arc sort of relationship with me. I feel like in elementary school, I was this kid who was super excited about the Scholastic book fairs, where every time I'd go, I'd already re-look at the catalogs weeks in advance when they sent that out. I'd be like, I want this book and this book and this book. I want to read Geronimo. I want Goosebumps, and I don't want any Judy B. Jones, but you know, I already knew what books I wanted, and I was so in love with reading. And then it kind of got into middle school and high school and even into university, where readings kind of became this required thing. And I'm not exactly sure where, but somewhere along the lines, the intrinsic motivation to read was lost. It was killed off. And I think recently with graduating and finding that there's still so much in life that wasn't taught, wasn't learned, the best way to go about this is reading condensed knowledge and hearing out from experts or people who have explored this topic a little more. And oftentimes those kind of little snippets and nuggets of information are spread inside books, whether that's nonfiction or fiction. I feel like even in fictional stories, there's a lot in terms of conveying morals and themes and also stretching your imagination. And so some of the books that I've currently been reading or just recently finished is Atomic Habits, Man's Search for Meaning, and also I'm just starting out Dune. I'm a little bit late to the hype, but I think it'll be a good read. And that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was probably a bit on the longer side, but I really hope that everyone's able to find at least something that they resonated with and that they can bring back and implement into their lives to maybe help kind of create and maintain a better headspace when you're doing focus work, whether you're a student or just someone who's trying to be a little bit more productive in their days. And so for me personally, I think I wanted to end with a quote from the book I'm reading, Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. I feel that this quote really summarizes the importance of being able to reflect that energy inwards and explore about who you are and finding that sense of drive and purpose. There's always a lot of things that we have to do and we're feeling sometimes like we don't want to do it. And I think the reason why it can get really discouraging at times is we're losing sight of kind of the big picture or why we're doing these. And so the quote is, "He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how," which is like super philosophical, but I don't know, just thought it'd be good to share out. Anyways, thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.